Have you ever wondered if Allah is secretly caring for you in ways you don't yet see? What if the everyday moments in your life are actually proof of divine favor? In the Quran and Sunnah, Allah honors those He loves, not always with fame or riches, but with signs only a heart with faith can recognize. Tonight I'll show you 7 clear signs that you may already be among those women favored by Allah, protected by His mercy, and used as a source of good for others. Stay with me, because number 5 will humble you, and number 7 will change how you view every trial you've faced. A woman truly favored by Allah is not recognized by wealth, beauty, or social approval, but by the firmness of her heart in iman, faith. Life tests her, sometimes breaking her plans, separating her from people she loves, or pushing her into moments of silence and solitude. Yet through all of it, her heart remains connected to her Creator. She understands that everything happening around her is under Allah's perfect control, not a coincidence, but a carefully written chapter in her story. When she faces heartbreak, she doesn't lose herself in despair. Instead, she whispers, "Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil." Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Her faith is not conditional upon ease. It strengthens in hardship. This unshakable reliance on Allah is what separates her from the world and aligns her with the divine. She knows that true peace is not found in people or possessions, but in sujud, when her forehead touches the ground and her heart speaks directly to her Lord. A steadfast heart doesn't mean she feels no pain. It means she endures with patience and trust. Tawakkul. She continues to pray when others give up. She continues to make dua even when the world tells her it's hopeless. Her tears are not a sign of weakness, but evidence of her connection to the Almighty. Allah mentions such women in the Quran indirectly through examples like Maryam, tested, alone, yet firm in her faith. Like her, a steadfast woman is honored not by status, but by her unwavering devotion. She becomes a living sign that iman can outshine every darkness, and that when the heart holds on to Allah, it can never truly break. One of the most overlooked signs that a woman is favored by Allah is when He withholds what she deeply desires. At first, this can feel painful. Unanswered du'as, delayed dreams, or relationships that never worked out. But what she doesn't realize in the moment is that Allah's no is not rejection, it is protection. Allah says in the Quran, "But perhaps you hate a thing, and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you know not." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:21-6. A woman favored by Allah understands that what she wants isn't always what she needs. Sometimes the path she prays for would have led her away from her purpose, her peace, or her iman. So Allah in His infinite mercy closes certain doors, not to punish her, but to preserve her. When her heart breaks, she doesn't curse destiny. She falls in sujud and whispers, "Ya Allah, if not this, then something better." Her faith allows her to believe that Allah's delay is not denial. Each unanswered prayer, each redirection is shaping her into someone stronger, wiser, and more deserving of what's truly meant for her. This divine protection extends even to people. Those she wanted to stay are sometimes removed because Allah heard conversations she didn't. He saw intentions she couldn't. And so, when Allah blocks her path, she remembers the one who loves her most is saving her from unseen harm. That is true favor, not in getting everything she asks for, but in being saved from everything that could destroy her soul. When a woman reaches this realization, she no longer chases her desires, she chases Allah and finds peace in whatever He decrees. A woman favored by Allah shows her faith not through loud words, but through quiet character. 2 qualities shine most clearly: rahmah, mercy, and khaya. Modesty. Mercy is active compassion. She softens the harsh, comforts the weak, and forgives when others hold grudges. Modesty is not merely about dress. It is an inner dignity that shapes speech, behavior, and how she protects the honor of others. Together, these traits reflect the prophetic model of excellent character that Islam elevates. The Quran describes believers whose conduct brings peace, and the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth humbly, and when the ignorant address them, they say peace. Surah Al-Furqan 25:63. A woman of mercy answers anger with calm, replaces insult with silence or wise speech, and chooses prayer over reaction. Her modesty shows in restraint. She does not seek attention. She preserves boundaries, and she values inner worth above fleeting praise. Mercy and modesty have social power. In the home, she nurtures harmony, patience with children, gentleness with elders, and respect that holds families together. In the community, she becomes a balm. Her presence cools tensions and invites people toward better manners and faith. These virtues attract Allah's favor because they reflect His attributes. He is most merciful, and He loves those who show compassion. Importantly, mercy and modesty are learned habits, cultivated by prayer, reflection, and following the Prophet's example. They are visible not in perfection, but in intention and effort, choosing forgiveness, lowering the gaze, speaking kindly, and acting with humility. A woman who lives by these traits demonstrates that true beauty in Islam is ethical and spiritual. In that beauty lies Allah's reward, inner dignity, tranquil relationships, and a heart near to Him. A woman favored by Allah often carries a quiet sakina, an inner peace that does not depend on circumstances. This tranquility is not the absence of trials, but a settled heart that trusts Allah through them. The Quran comforts the believer. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ardad 13:28. When her life is rooted in dhikr salah and sincere reliance, tawklul, an unshakable calm grows within her that others may find mysterious. This peace shows in small ways. She smiles in hardships, sleeps with trust instead of worry, and meets criticism with patience. People around her may see only external ease, not the long nights of dua, the private struggles, or the steady practice that produced this quiet. Her serenity is the fruit of consistent acts, muaddeh, waking for tahajjud, making dua, giving charity, repenting, habits that train the heart to return to Allah instead of panic. Importantly, inner peace is not passivity. It coexists with effort. She takes steps, seeks counsel, and acts wisely, yet her outcome rests with Allah. That balance between striving and surrender is what makes her composure deep rather than hollow. When storms come, she does not collapse, because her reliance is anchored in one who controls every affair. Others may mistake her calm for detachment or luck. In truth, it is soulful discipline, humility in success, gratitude in ease, and patience in trial. Her presence becomes a silent da'ah, a living example that peace is possible when the heart is tied to the divine. In that peace lies a powerful sign, Allah's nearness, and the quiet reward He grants to those who remember Him sincerely. You said, when Allah favors a woman, He does not keep that favor hidden. He uses her as an instrument of khair, good, in the lives of others. This is not always grand or visible. Often it is quiet and steady work that changes families, communities, and hearts. Her faith becomes a means through which Allah spreads mercy, guidance, and healing. She comforts the broken-hearted with wise words and sincere du'as. She teaches children patience by example, not sermon. She feeds the hungry, sits with the lonely, and gives away what she could have kept. Small acts of sadaqah that ripple into unforeseen blessings. Through these deeds, Allah multiplies their effect. What she gives in humility becomes a source of barakah for many. Allah also uses her trials as channels of good. Her patience, under difficulty becomes a living testimony that inspires others to remain steadfast. Her recovery from loss or pain becomes a story that gives hope, proof that Allah's plan can convert hardship into mercy. In countless subtle ways, her character shapes the moral tone of her home and community. Modesty that protects dignity, mercy that softens hearts, and sincerity that invites trust. Moreover, a woman favored by Allah often becomes a means of guidance, not by force, but by presence. People are drawn to her counsel, her calm, and her reliance on Allah. Her sincere dawah can change destinies. Her charity can open doors of rizq for others. Her patience can mend broken relationships. Ultimately, being used for good is the most beautiful form of usefulness. It is a sign that Allah trusts her to carry light into dark places. If you find that people come to you for comfort, guidance, or help, see it as a gift and responsibility. Allah is using your hands and heart to enact His mercy in the world.